Surname?
Yeah, it's three of us.
Nice to have you on tracks, fellows. Having just seen that video, particularly the one of Rio there, and having looked at a couple of others of the bands over the years, and with those in mind, would you guys consider perhaps the band is aimed at a rather older audience than your following may suggest?
I think it's something that you don't really think about too much, actually. While it would be nice to, I suppose, be accepted in that way, you know, people do tend to think, oh, you know, it's just the looks or whatever, and they don't they look past the music. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There is a certain sort of elitism that can occur, that people think there's something better about selling a record to, say, a 25-year-old than there is to a 40-year-old.
I don't think we'd swap our audience for anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a young audience that is very enthusiastic. So we like it in a way.
Yeah.
But the sophistication that you attain in those clips certainly
I think
can have
a lot of
potential
that,
to appeal to an older audience.
I think a lot of that is it can be quite mock, actually. I think, you know, you watch us on the yachts and things, and what you don't realise is we're heaving up half the time anyway.
But I don't think you should sort of underestimate young people just because they're young kids. It doesn't mean, you know, it should be less quality.
Sure.
We just try to attain a high quality of video.
All right. Well, on that same theme, in a way, having listened to the lyrics and, you know, particularly Union of the Snake, it's a reasonably complex subject you're talking about there. Do you consider at times you're receiving inadequate credit for songwriting talents?
Yeah, I don't think we get credit for doing anything, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we do find it does get very annoying at times. You know, a show at the start of the tour, I mean, we got unanimously bad reviews, and critics do like to make out that we get, you know, the audience is vibing and you know, screaming and stuff, and they like to make out that at the same time we aren't playing, you know. I think, you know, that at the end of the day, when people are there and, you know, we're firing on all cylinders, hopefully everybody's going to enjoy it, whatever the age, whatever the sex.
Well, having a bit of a look at the label of any Duran Duran LP, it's written by Duran Duran. Who actually writes the song?
It's very much a team effort, if you like. We're all sort of very departmentalised. I write the drums, John writes the bass, Andy writes the guitars, and it just works like that. And it all sort of meshes together.
It can come from any starting point. It could be a lyric that Simon has that we put to music, or it can come from a rhythm that we have. And we tend to part of the old school of jamming around, you know, we just jam around eerily or something.
Sure. But say the lyric for Union of the Snake, is that one of Simon's ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Simon's lyric. But that was probably actually the last thing to be added to that track. Like, we built up a rhythm track and a synth track and guitar track.
It's like working backwards.
Yeah, we sort of work backwards. And lyrics are like the last things to go, and like just before we finished the album, it was like 2 days to go. And Simon was still like writing lyrics for a lot of the tracks.
Yeah.
Got to ask you about Seven and the Ragged Tiger, the new EP. What's the title name?
God, we've been working on this one, right? Been trying to come up with a good excuse.
2 words.
We've came up with a good answer. It doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah.
We just like the sound of it. It was a nice collection of words.
It was actually a song.
Yeah, it was a song once, but it got scrapped.
And it was part of the cleaning out process that we've had over the last 6 months. We've been working on the album for so long. We've scrapped a lot of songs. And originally the song was, it was, I don't know, like one of these...
Sounded a bit like the old
story type of thing. And we lost the song, and we just decided to keep the title.
Fine.
We couldn't think of anything else, so we kept it.
That's the best way to do it. Well, you obviously like Australia. You're spending quite a bit of time here.
Yeah.
4 months or so now.
Yeah, it's a bit like home from home now. It's going to be weird leaving.
Yeah. I think we've always had an affinity with the place, actually. The Planet Earth was the #1 here. It was the first country we'd ever had one.
Right.
And when we first toured here, it was the first time we'd played that size venues. And now we seem to have it. I mean, we're even talking about bands.
We know more about Australian bands than sort of English bands at the moment.
Well, that's great. It's nice to have you here in Australia.
Thanks.
Play stay as long as you like. Let's have a look at Union of the Snake. Thanks.